ready with me while I talk about getting dumped. Yep, I'm single now. This happened about 6 days ago, but I've kind of just been in a state of denial and trying to fix things, even though it's not my fault, there's nothing I could fix. And now I'm just kind of trying to accept it and move on. I may look sort of okay now, don't get me wrong though. I have been very unwell. I have not eaten in 6 days. I had to spend $600 to fly home. I'm not well at all. But I wanted to make a video just because I'm trying to find things to fill my time, and obviously I've been a little MIA from social media because of this, but I do love making content, and I have been watching a lot of similar videos, and it's been helping me just seeing that other people go through the same thing and they make it out on the other end. The process of healing from a breakup is so interesting because some moments I'm like, I know I'm gonna be okay, and it's just like, I just don't want to deal with all this pain for the next few months. And then other moments I'm like, I cannot make it through this, like I need things to be okay. I've been sleeping a lot just because then I'm not thinking about things, but the second I wake up, my body goes into full panic attack, realizing the reality of what my life now is. What I'm trying to do to cope with that is just, remind myself that I don't want to be with somebody that does not see the value of keeping me in their life. And I know I gave everything I could have possibly given in that relationship. And so if somebody doesn't want me, I don't want them. Believe me, that is way easier said than done. It's especially hard for me because I was blindsided. This came out of nowhere. He was having doubts that were never communicated with me. And I genuinely used to pray that I would end up marrying this guy. So it's weird to know that that's, whatever. I think the hardest part for me has been just trying to accept the fact that, 1 second you can be so happy and so in love with someone, and the next they just come out of the woodworks with they don't see a future with you anymore, for reasons they can't even really justify. But again, I do not want any man that does not see my worth and see how incredibly lucky he would be to have me in his life and have a future with me. Just gotta keep telling myself that though, till I fully feel it. Because no matter what, I love him so much. And I can think those things and I know I do deserve more, but it's just when you're in this state, it's I didn't want more from anybody else. I was happy with you, and I thought you felt the same. What's been the most helpful for me, honestly, in this time has been my family. I spend just about every second of every day on the phone with my mom, unless she's at work, because it is the only thing that has kept me from completely spiraling, especially being 8 hours away from home. I thankfully go home again in 2 weeks for fall break, and then there's a 4-week gap before I go home for Thanksgiving, and I might be booking another flight just because, being around my family has been the only thing to make this better for me. This video might just be a lot of me rambling, but that's just where my brain is at. It's all jumbled thoughts, everything doesn't make sense, and I'm definitely very lost and confused, but I want other people to see this and know that I literally am suffering, and if you are too, we're together in this, it'll be okay. People have made it through heartbreak before. It's doable. It is totally gut-wrenching and soul-crushing, but it's life, I guess. This is also the first time I've really, like, gotten ready in the past 6 days, but I talked to my therapist, and, you know, she's just kind of telling me, like, get up, make your bed, shower, you know, as much as, like, you have no energy to do those things and all you want to do is sit and be sad, like, if you continue to do those things, it'll make it easier. So I'm getting ready, and I'm going to try and film some content that is long overdue that I've been needing to film for brands because I've just not been capable of functioning. My therapist also told me to, you know, find a hobby that will feel like it gives me purpose in life, and I think that's kind of what this is, and I think I may make a few more videos just on, like, how I'm going through day by day and how I'm getting through a breakup, just because, you know, if one person sees this that's going through the same thing and that can help them, that would be amazing to me, and, you know, make it feel like this is all happening for a reason. Or if you're in the same position that I am in, just know that you're so much more than a man that does not see the value of keeping you in his life. I love my ex, and that is, I don't like saying that. That is so weird for me. Wow. I love him, and I will always love him, but, you know, I guess I've kind of realized, I guess I did love him more. So, well, makeup is done, and as dumb as it may seem, this is a big win for me today, that I at least took the time to get ready. I just want anybody to know that if you're going through the same thing, please feel free to message me. I would love to talk to somebody about it. Any more people that we kind of bounce feelings off each other, I'm definitely down for that. And yeah, everything always happens as it should and will always work out in the end. I would also like to note that while I may have looked okay in this, that is just because I go through very different, varying emotions throughout a day, and right now I'm in a feeling of numbness. But I will be sobbing at some point today. Just know that you're not alone with that either.
Hey guys, get ready with me while I talk about how my boyfriend broke up with me yesterday. A little backstory, I used to always ask him to change, and he would always tell me he would, and this would go on for months, and he just, like, never changed. Because of that, I was having thoughts about breaking up with him. I ended up posting a TikTok on this account about, like, if I should break up with him, and all this stuff, like, listing, like, why. Then some random guy DM'd my boyfriend on Instagram with a screenshot of my TikTok. While all that was happening, he was at my house. So it was 10 in the morning when he showed me the screenshot that the guy sent him, and he just packed his stuff and left. He lives 3 hours away from me, so an hour and a half into his drive, he texted me, basically breaking up with me over text. He was saying how immature it was of me to make that TikTok instead of just going to him and talking about it, which makes no sense because I've always went to him and talked to him for months. He basically broke up with me for that TikTok I made. I do see him again next month to give him some of his stuff back. I am also almost certain he still plays games with my little brother. I've been handling it pretty good, I would say. Like, yes, I did cry a bunch yesterday. I had to tell my family too, which is also hard. And yes, I'm still thinking about him, like, ever since I woke up today, but I feel like it's easier right now. I haven't been crying. I think it also helps with the fact that I've been telling myself if he really wanted to be with me, he would, and we wouldn't be broken up right now. But I shouldn't be stressing so much about the breakup because, you know, he didn't want to be with me. So I probably should have said this in the beginning, but I am making this video just because I've had, like, a lot of girls DM me of being in the same situation. If you're in a relationship with someone that doesn't treat you how you deserve to be treated, and you voice that with them, you communicate, but nothing is changing, I really strongly advise you to just leave. And I know that's really hard to do because I couldn't even do that, but it is better not to wait it out because then it will get harder. Okay guys, I am done with my makeup. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Get ready with me while I talk about how I'm doing 2 weeks post-breakup. If you've been following along with my little breakup journey, it's been 2 weeks tomorrow, and I don't know. I don't know how I'm doing. My last talking, like, get ready with me video was about no contact, which, we have spoke. I think the day I made that video, I just had a really rough day, and I broke no contact. Oops. But as, you know, much as people say not to contact them, like, they were in your life every day. They're your best friend. They were your best friend, whatever. So if you do, like, speak to them, it's not the end of the world. Over the past 2 weeks, I've started seeing a lot of TikToks about avoidant attachment people, which has kind of helped me make sense of why this breakup came out of the blue and why it makes no sense, because if it's just that, it doesn't make sense. Because I definitely think that's what happened, is he has an avoidant attachment style, and that's how this all came to happen. I know I personally have an anxious attachment style, which, being a super anxious person, I mean, that already just makes sense to me. But I feel like I was better at being a little more in touch with it, knowing I had it, and was, you know, able to deal with it better. So I hope, you know, for the sake of him, that he takes the time to try and work on that, and better himself. As for me, I really just, I mean, some days are better than others still. Some days can be really hard. But I, like, ultimately, at the end of the day, I just really miss my best friend. Like, I miss having my person to go to talk to about everything and, like, help me with things. And, you know, this person, like, knew everything going on in my life, like, everything. And I miss having that person in my life. It's especially hard with, like, the seasons changing, because it's becoming fall, which was both of our favorite seasons. And, I mean, I literally texted him, like, maybe a month prior to this breakup and was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for fall. Like, I can't wait to love you in the fall. Like, I love love, and I love in different seasons, and I was really looking forward to it. And it's definitely sad, like, having, you know, I drove past a pumpkin patch the other day, and I so badly, like, wanted to do that kind of stuff and was so looking forward to it, and we had plans for a lot of different things, and it just hard, you know, knowing that stuff isn't gonna happen now. I'm in, like, a weird in-between stage, though, where I'm like, I don't want to get back together. Like, you hurt me because of these problems you have, and, like, this avoidant style that you needed to fix. But, like, at the same time, I'm like, where is that person that I thought I was with? Like, I want that person back, you know? I think the hardest part for me lately has also just been the idea of him moving on. I personally am appalled by men. I can't, like, I'm just not interested at all anymore. Not looked in the direction of another guy. And I do not care to anytime soon. But the idea of him, you know, doing the things and having the moments that he had with me with somebody else, no, I cannot get through those thoughts. I also just want to mention that the amount of support I've got from these videos has been absolutely incredible. This whole situation has just kind of warmed my heart, in the sense of, like, seeing so many women just coming together, you know, trying to make each other feel better. You know, we've all gone through situations like this, or going through it, and, like, the amount of people that have reached out to me is just insane, and has literally made me cry. It is just genuinely, I've got some of the sweetest messages ever. I have also got a lot more than I ever would have expected, so if you did message me and I didn't respond, I'm sorry. It was just, like, a lot. But I appreciate, like, every single person that took the time to say something nice to me. Like, it genuinely helps. Just hearing from other people, and, like, knowing that people would care to reach out to somebody they don't even know is just so sweet to me. But along those lines of all the love that I have received, has been at least one person that did find my ex and message him, letting him know he fumbled, which you're not wrong. He most certainly did. But, like, I don't hate my ex at all. You know, it is what it is. Please leave him alone. He does not need any hate. Yeah, he did fumble, but I think he knows that. While I appreciate what that person was maybe trying to do, please leave him alone. It's also been very difficult for me to accept that, like, what's gonna heal this is just time, because I'm like, I don't want to feel like this. Like, how long do I have to feel like this? Like, heal me. I don't have time, thank you. Like, I'm done being sad and missing this person. Overall, I'd say for 2 weeks in, some days are definitely a little bit easier, but, you know, some days are still just as hard, and I feel like I am spiraling, and I just can't get out of bed, and, you know, but at least it's not every day is like that now. I've always been a very firm believer that everything does happen for a reason and exactly as it should, and if any future we are meant to be together, it will work out exactly as it's supposed to. I've been able to, you know, better connect with myself and just really see how strong I am, you know, coping through all of this. Just still want to preface, you know, today is a good day for me, so I'm here and I'm positive and I'm like, oh, you know, what's meant to be will find me, but that's not every day. But thankfully that is today, at least for now, and I'm getting through it day by day. The most daunting part for me is just being like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna feel like this for months. So what's really been helping me is just be like, I just need to make it to the end of the day. Like, I go to bed in 4 hours, oh my gosh, you know, things like that, which may be kind of sad, but it helps me get through each day. If you're going through something similar, you're most certainly not alone. Go to my other videos. So many people have commented and are going through the same thing, and my heart, it goes out to everybody. Obviously, I know how hard it is, but we're really all healing through this together, so please chat it up in the comments. I'm gonna try and respond to people like I have been, and yeah, just know you're not alone.
Get ready with me whilst I talk about breakups, healing, and all of that stuff. And I've actually got to go somewhere, so let's hope that I'm not going to cry. So obviously, breakup journey is different for every single person, and I feel like people do move on in their own time, and I think it's very important to highlight that. Some people can move on in a month, some people take years to move on, and that is totally fine. I feel like for me personally, I do take a longer time to heal, but that's because I'm quite an emotional person. Just hooed up and put way too much on. I feel like right now I'm really taking time to myself, and I'm not actually going out as much as I used to. So I used to go out all the time, and I'm actually letting myself heal. I feel like before I was just going out every single weekend. I was just doing things that necessarily isn't, for me, the best way to heal. I don't actually think it's helping me in long term, and it's not helping me reach my goals. So I'm kind of like trying to sack going out a little bit. But that does not mean that I've stopped seeing my friends. I'm just doing different things with them, like going out for dinner, going to the gym, or just literally just chilling around each other's houses. They told me to run so many times. They told me, Gracie, please stop doing this to yourself. And I didn't listen because I wasn't ready to leave that situation. I don't even think I actually am still ready to leave that situation. I realise that right now it's not working. It could work in the future, but right now, no way. If you're not doing okay in yourself, you need to run away and get out of that situation. So that being said, doing things that you enjoy is so important. This time is time you never had before because you were splitting your time for someone else. So do things that you enjoy. So for me, things that I really enjoy is obviously going to the football with my family and me and my friends just chilling. Change is inevitable and it's scary, like, but take the changes. You can't progress and you can't better yourself. Without change, nothing changes. That is what I'm trying to say. I'm literally just doing this video to remind.
Get ready with me while I talk about how I'm doing 2 months post-breakup. A lot of you guys have been following my videos along my little breakup journey. I was posting a lot more about it in the beginning to kind of have an outlet of, you know, somewhere to go and talk about it, as well as, you know, so many people were relating to the situation I was going through. And it just kind of kept encouraging me to talk more about it, knowing that I was helping so many other people feel less alone in their situation. But it has been 2 months now, and I have talked about it significantly less on here, only because I'm just trying to think about it significantly less. And so obviously talking about it and posting about it just has me thinking about it more, and it's just kind of not been on my mind as much. I'm just kind of to the point where it's like, yeah, the situation sucks. Yeah, I'm sad and I miss it, but it is what it is at this point, and there's nothing that can be done. So I'm just, forgetting it and moving on. And obviously that takes time. I mean, like, it was so hard for me in the beginning, but I've just kind of gotten to this point where I'm like, it is what it is. Life moves forward. Also, please ignore that this is not my shade. I need to go get a winter color because I'm getting pale. For those of you that are still going through a breakup, having a rough time, and don't get me wrong, like, there's still times where I'm sad, but I mostly am just sad because I miss what it was, I guess, but I can't get that back anyways. Also, my skin is breaking out like terrible right now, so we're gonna be doing a lot of concealer. But my recommendation to those of you that are going through a breakup is honestly just spend time with people who do care about you, like friends and family. And as much as it sucks, it literally is just time that will fix it. And as time goes on, things will get easier and you'll be able to move forward. I'll also say anytime that I'm home, it is significantly easier because back at school is obviously where we were together, where we met, all this stuff, and it's a lot harder. But once I'm home, I can kind of like remove myself from that time in my life. I would say the biggest struggle for me now is just missing my person and my best friend. Like, there's so much that has happened in these 2 months that I wish I could tell him about, but like I can't, and that sucks because he's the person I still want to tell those things to, but I can't. Like, obviously I do have so many other great people in my life that I can tell, but it's just not the same. Like, that was my person, that was my best friend, and like, I don't know, it sucks. Also, it of course does not make it any easier with it being the holidays. Like, I love doing relationship things around the holidays, and I love getting gifts for people and all that stuff, and I don't get to celebrate the holidays with him, which definitely has been a bummer. Like, having a boyfriend around the holidays is absolutely amazing, and I have not got to experience that for a while, and I thought I was this year, and I was so ecstatic, and I had so many little things planned in my head, and now I'm just alone again, unfortunately. It is still like a weird back and forth. Like, sometimes I have occasional days where I like will think about how things used to be and yada yada, and I'm like, why? What happened? But then a lot of the time, more often than not, I'm like, I'm happy how I am, and I'm gonna find so much better anyways. But it is hard when you were so close with that person and you really felt like you had a special connection. It's hard to just turn that off and be like, that's gone. I feel like it's the same advice that everybody gives, like, focus on yourself and time will fix it and blah 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 blah, but that really is the case. Like, genuinely, there's nothing else you can do other than pour all that love back into yourself and just let time go on, and things will just start to get easier. And at the end of the day, I've kind of realized we're both obviously so young, and he's a silly, immature little boy who has a lot of growing to do as a person, and, maybe one day, but also maybe not, and that's totally okay too. Now I'm just kind of using this time to focus on myself, figure out what I want to do career-wise after I graduate, and, focus on my plans for my life and just think about myself and nobody else. I also have no bad blood towards him. I think he's immature and he needs to grow, and I think he made a mistake in my opinion, but, you live and you learn. I definitely hate the way things went down, and I hate how things happen, but I don't hate him as a person. I guess I hate what he did to me, but, I think when you spend so much time with somebody, you can see a lot more of who they are deep down, and so I don't hate him. I wish I did, because that would make things a lot easier, but, you know, it is what it is. That's kind of just my motto now. It is what it is. I'm no expert on getting through a breakup. I obviously still have my moments where I miss him, so, you know, I'm not perfect, but I mentally am doing so much better, and I think I can definitely give some advice here and there. So for anybody that is kind of in the depths of it and struggling, if you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to comment them. I'll try my best to answer and give any advice to help. I'm not a professional on this or anything, but, you know, went through it, going through it, so I can definitely try and help in certain aspects. Okay, makeup's all done. If you guys need any advice, just comment down below and I'll try and answer and help you. I am doing a lot better, and that's why I haven't posted about it so much. But I appreciate all the comments of people still asking, and I hope you all are doing better too. Love you.
Get ready with me day after situationship, breakup, whatever you want to call it. Technically, I'm getting ready to go to Universal with my best friend for his birthday trip, and I'm very excited, but I come bearing bad news that we all kind of saw coming. The guy that I've been talking about, sorry, I'm just trying not to cry. Today has been easier than it was, yesterday, which is when I just found out. Granted, it's only 9 a.m., but yeah, anyway, so the guy I've been talking about in all my past videos, I don't even know what happened, but he got back together with his ex, so we're, like, done. The story, try not to cry, was that he was responding for a while, which I wasn't out of the ordinary because he was with his friend, and his location was, like, near a pond, so I'm like, okay, they're fishing, and, like, he doesn't have service. And then I checked his TikTok, like, a few hours later, and I'm blocked, and his TikTok is always tweaking, so I'm thinking that it was an accident, or, like, I don't know, something happened. I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll talk to him about it later. I don't want to bother him because he's hanging out with his friend. And then I check a little bit later, and then I'm blocked on my spam account, too, so I'm like, okay, this is on purpose, and then I check on Instagram, and then he unfollowed me, so I'm like, okay, this is on purpose, and I need to figure out, like, what's wrong. So I was literally typing the paragraph to send to him, and then I check his TikTok again on my, like, spam account, and I see, like, the one that he did block, and I see that her name is in his bio. And funny enough, this is all kind of ironic, because if you remember in my last video, I talked about how I had a dream that I, texted him, like, good morning, I love you, whatever, and then he said, like, I've just been lying, I never loved you, and then I check his profile, and I'm blocked, and he has a girlfriend, so that was a prophecy, I guess. I don't want to believe it, but I remember, like, literally right after all this happened, I saw, like, something came up on my For You page, and it was, like, a verse from, like, Job, something, and it was, like, like, God speaks through dreams or whatever, and I'm like, okay, yeah. So I was warned, and I just didn't want to believe it, I guess. Anyway, so I wasn't blocked on Snapchat, like, for a while, so I had enough time to send him, like, a text. I basically, like, sent him a goodbye text. It was a paragraph, because that's my thing was I used to always write him paragraphs, because I love to write. I'm just, like, a writer. I truly feel like I'm a poet. Like, that's all I do is I write, and that's how I express my feelings, and I don't know. I would just write him so many things, and I'm reading them back. They're so sweet, and I don't know. I really tried, like... And, so I sent him, like, one last one. It was so long. Maybe this video is already kind of long, so I won't read it here. Maybe, like, in the next one, I'll show you guys what I wrote. But anyways, so I also asked for closure. I asked to know, like, if it was real this entire time, or if it was just, like, I don't know, you got bored, or if I did something, or if, when he came down to Florida, which I've talked about before, if I didn't, like, I don't know, like, if he had expectations that I didn't meet, like, I don't know, I was confused, and I didn't get any closure. All he said was, like, I'm sorry I had to end like this, and then I wasn't at it, so I'm not gonna pester him for closure, because I know that even if I do, I'm either not gonna get a response at all, or the response I get is not gonna be concise, and it's just not worth it. I think what just hurts the most is the fact that I don't know if it was real or not, and it felt real. I feel like it was, but I just don't know, and I probably will never know, until they break up again, and then maybe I can ask. But honestly, at that point, I don't know if I'm going to be willing to talk to him again, just because I'm going to be, like, so, like, traumatized, because this is the second time this has happened. I think a lot of the reason why it hurts is but also because of the whiplash of it, because, like, literally earlier, this happened yesterday, like, last night. Earlier, we were perfectly fine, like, everything was good, and then, just out of nowhere, like, this came out of left field, so I don't know. And it was also, like, a slow burn, because I kind of had a feeling it was happening, but I didn't want to believe it. So that also makes it worse. And I'm just a really, like, sensitive, loving person, so just, like, things like this really get to me. And, like, I don't know, I just got really attached, I think. And rightfully so. I mean, it's not really my fault. Like, it's not like I got attached onto nothing, because he was, like, definitely, like, you know, it was either playing in my face, or it just, like, I don't know what happened. And that's what really hurts for me. And, like, I've said that a million times. And I won't know. And honestly, I kind of don't want to know. But I just feel like our story is far from over. Like, that's just how I feel in my heart. And, like, normally you can tell when things are done, or, like, if it's kind of, you know, whatever. But I feel like it's not. I feel like, I don't know. I just really hope. I was up, like, all night, like, crying, like, from, like, 10. I don't know if I already said this. I was crying from, like, 10 to sunrise. And I got no sleep, so that's also not helping, because I'm probably just tired. I was just, like, crying, praying, and reading my Bible, hoping that, like, maybe it was a mistake, maybe it was a dream, or whatever, but I don't know. I'm just hoping that he comes back, and I have a feeling in my heart that he will, but I just have to wait. Also, it's just kind of funny to me, because I don't know if I talked about it, but I spent, like, the past, like when we were talking, like, the few weeks, kind of, like, every time I would see his ex-girlfriend view my page, which she kind of did a lot, and when I would see her view my story, I would laugh. I'd be like, ha ha ha, like, look at her, like, she really thinks, like, no, he's mine now, like, whatever. And then now look at me. I'm in the exact same position. She's probably laughing at me. And it kind of makes me wish I was more compassionate, because, yeah. So I guess that's your lesson, to never judge people, because you never know what position you're going to be in the next day. Out of all of this, I'm hoping that the silver lining will be that I just, like, won't like anyone ever again. Whatever, at least for the foreseeable future, and that will probably prevent me from having a heartbreak like this again, because I'm just, like, a super compassionate person. Like, I love everyone, and like I said, I get attached, and I just wear my heart on my sleeve, and even if I wanted to change, I can't. So I'm hoping that this will, like, you know, give me a push to just be a little more chill. Okay, guys, sorry about the depressing video again. But here's my makeup. It looks pretty good today, actually, so that makes me feel a bit better. But yeah, I hope everyone is having a better day than me. I hope everyone going through the same thing as me, feels better, and I hope that everyone who isn't never has to go through this, because it hurts. But bye, everyone.